Welcome to Secondary Voices and Topics from today's high school students.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Cryptcast. I'm Kason.
And Colton.
And today we're talking about the Loch Ness Monster.
Old Nessie.
Yeah, before we start, do you have anything to say about it?
It's basically, I'm just going to sum up what I know. He's going to get a better one in a second. The Loch Ness Monster, from my memory, is a prehistoric aquatic animal, which is the basic dinosaur called the plesiosaur, which is around long time ago.
Yeah, it was like
millions, 30
Yeah.
millions or so. All right, you go.
So I have this article from Britannica.com. You may visit it and read along if you would like. I'm just gonna read the first few paragraphs where it's talking about like its origin. And then I think you have an article, and then I can read the rest of this article.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll start. The Loch Ness Monster, a large marine creature believed by some people to inhabit Loch Ness, Scotland. That's where it originated, Scotland. Reports of a monster inhabiting Loch Ness date back to ancient times. Notably, local stone carvings by the Pict depict a mysterious beast with flippers. The first written account appears in a 7th century biography of St. Columba, St. Columba period. According to that work, in 565 AD, the monster was a bit... That's wrong. It says a bit swimmer.
That's funny. That's pretty funny.
And I guess it was prepared to attack another man when Colombia intervened and they ordered the beast to go back. Quote, "It obeyed, and over the centuries, only occasional sightings were reported. Many of these alleged encounters seemed inspired by the Scottish folklore, which abounds with mythical water creatures."
That sounds legit.
Yeah.
Tell the creature off. Get out of here. You're not wanted. Oh, okay. You're
Yeah.
right.
Thank
So,
you, Colombian government, for letting that man live.
Yes, for telling that creature like a 3-year-old toddler.
I mean, if
Cool.
you were a big water monster and a bunch of people on boats with guns came at you and told you to go back, I mean, I'd probably listen.
I mean, you're also a giant water monster.
You are also a giant water monster.
Exactly. I mean, we also don't know what it's capable of. For all we
Yeah.
know, it could be like, could cause an earthquake with like its burp or something.
Yeah. I've got one more paragraph here, and then we can go into your article. In 1933, the Loch Ness Monster's legend began to grow. At the time, a road adjacent to Loch Ness was finished, offering an unobstructed view of the lake. In April, a couple saw an enormous animal, which they compared to a, quote, dragon or prehistoric monster, and after it crossed their car's path, it disappeared into the water. The incident was reported in a Scottish newspaper, and numerous sightings followed. In December 1933, the Daily Mail commissioned Marmaduke Wetherell, a big game hunter, to locate the sea serpent. Along the lake shores, he found footprints that he believed belonged to a very powerful, soft-footed animal, about 20 feet long, or 6 meters. That's about the end.
Wow, so very nice cutoff.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, basically just creature that Columbia was like, hey, don't do that. I'm like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, mine is from the wiki.
Wiki.
Wiki how to Loch Ness. All right. The Loch Ness Monster, affectionately known as Nessie, is a mythical creature in Scottish folklore that is said to inhabit Loch Ness in the Scottish Highlands. Well, I feel like I've heard this somewhere before. It is often described as a large, long-necked with one or more humps protruding from the water. Popular interest and belief in the creature has varied since it brought to worldwide attention in 1933. So actually, the photo in 1934 is actually a hoax. It was actually not real. We're going to an article, and that's soon, of the actual photographer emitting, if this is the right tab. Yeah, the right tab. This is the right tab of him actually admitting it was a fake. It was a fake photo. He said that it was some sort of RC boat, something that just floated that he basically morphed. You'll see if you search Loch Ness monster, you'll see it. But something I also do want to say is that I was saying it looks like a plesiosaur. One second, plesiosaur. What is this? Okay, we'll have to look that up in your own time. But it's basically a long-necked creature that's under the ocean floor. And it's primarily a carnivore. I think that's where the thing came from, was when we discovered the bones. All right, where was I? Okay. Evidence of its extensive is anecdotal with a number of disputed photographs and sonar readings. So it's apparently a lake monster in Scotland, and that about actually sums it up. That's all I found here. So that's not amazing amount of information, but anything to say on that?
Not really. It's just
Pretty
more like a
self-explanatory.
summarized version of this really long, like 3 paragraphs that I read.
Yeah, well, we're gonna do the little photograph thing last.
Yeah.
To keep you guys listening.
I guess I'll go. Later in this article, it has evidence towards disproving the Loch Ness monster, so I'll read those paragraphs. Here I go. The Loch Ness area attracted numerous monster hunters. Over the years, several sonar explorations, notably in 1987 and 2003, were undertaken to locate the creature, but none were successful. In addition, numerous photographs allegedly showed the beast, but most were discredited as fakes or depicting other animals or objects. And this was what you were talking about, the photograph. In 1994, it was revealed that Wilson's photograph was a hoax, and it was just a plastic and wooden head attached to a toy submarine. So,
What a fraud.
yeah, can't believe him. Who would fake things on the internet?
For money. Who would do that for money, man?
Yeah,
Definitely not me.
or the Bigfoot guy.
Yeah.
In 2018, researchers conducted a DNA survey of the Loch Ness to determine what organisms live in the water. No signs of a plesiosaur or other such large animals were found, though the results indicated the presence of numerous eels. This finding left open the possibility that the monster is just an oversized eel, despite the lack of conclusive evidence. The Loch Ness monster remained popular and profitable. In the early 21st century, it was thought that it contributed nearly $80 million annually to Scotland's economy. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, that's something that always like I said with the Bigfoot episode, that really keeps the legitimacy of things, if like potential for profitability. Because if you can make
Yeah.
a crap ton of money off of something, and you're like, hang on, I could fake this really easily, someone's gonna do it, obviously. Because if you just gotta get a little Nokia camera, take a photo of something really far away, and you're set.
Yeah.
That's like,
Especially with how, absurdly profitable it was for Scotland.
yeah,
$80 million a year? Or annually? That's not a lot in terms of, a country's economy, but that's still a lot of, that is more money than they wouldn't have. So
if
they might,
if it never happened, exactly.
that's something they might, kind of over-mediatize, I guess. Might be, a selling point on why you should go to Scotland.
Yeah, exactly. That's what the expeditions were. It's a massive amount of money getting dumped into Scotland's banks for food, for gas, for all that stuff they're using. Probably even people going out there, the tickets too. Actually, yeah, all that stuff is gonna be
Mm-hmm.
right into pockets of
That's about the end of all this article has to offer. So if you want to get into the
Yeah, let me just.
other
There.
things.
All right, so I have one that I'm pretty sure says that it's real, quote unquote. But all right. Some 90 years ago, not this month, it was November, the publication of a photo purporting to show a creature traversing the waters in Loch Ness, Scotland, started what may be the very first viral trend. On November 12th, 1933, a man named Hugh Gray took a photo of something moving in the water, although what it was exactly remains a deep point of contention today. The photo was a fake. It was a submarine thingy, by the way. Whatever the case, that 1933 photo paved the way for many others to share their own tales of spotting the fabled Loch Ness monster, including the much more famous surgeon's photo of a dinosaur-looking creature seemingly swimming in the Scottish lake, which was published April 1934 in a Daily Mail, one of Britain's largest newspapers. Sorry, so this is the fake one. The other one of something, I don't know. We'll have to look that one up. Here, let me search Hugh Gray Loch Ness photo. See what pulls up for that. Hugh Gray Loch Ness photo. Oh, wow, that's a really bad image. It kind of looks like a fish, but there. Oh, actually, I do kind of see it, actually, yeah.
Oh yeah.
You kind of see the little flippers and things. But that also could be light, something with a camera, smudge on the lens.
Yeah, 1933 cameras. I mean, cameras were good, but they weren't like
Cell phone good.
Yeah. This looks more like you took like modern day sonar and just like I don't know. It's interesting. Again, there were said to be eels in this lake, so that could be an eel. But I mean, I'm a believer.
If it is, it's a wide eel.
Yeah, that's a really big. It'd be a massive eel.
Fat old eel. All right. In the 90 years since Hugh Gray's 1933 photos published, there have been 1,155 sightings and counting. According to Britain's Sky News, which recently published a story on the continuing interest in Loch Ness monster. That was the photo. We could have just scrolled down a little bit. What's it called? Yeah, the fact that people are now starting to talk about it makes no sense. If me personally, if I saw some weird creature, like it didn't matter where it was, if it was in the forest, in the ocean, in a lake, in my bathtub, I would immediately, there's something there. What's that? What's that little thing? I would talk about it almost immediately. But the fact that that's a little peculiar.
Yeah. And the fact this has been going on so long.
Yeah.
It's like kind of with Bigfoot that there's like a ton of like fake stories.
It's hard with credibility, yeah.
Yeah.
Because also CGI has gotten really well, AI, things like that. I saw one video. It was obviously fake, I could tell, but because it just looked too good. It was pretty good. It was some video of the Loch Ness monster swimming in like a lake. But I think too is that a lot of these people are claiming to see Loch Ness monster, this place, that place, this place. It's in Scotland. That thing ain't swimming all the way to Colorado.
Yeah.
Or
I mean, like
California.
The other sightings could just be like people that were like in a rush or thought they saw something and then like heavily dramatized it later.
It might be one of those cases. I know I've done this before, where like you lie and you believe your own lie.
Yeah, like your brain kind of edits the things so you believe what you like thought you saw, but you saw something totally different.
Yeah, it could be like a pigeon. You know, like that was a dinosaur.
Yeah, like oh my
60
goodness,
feet.
there was a massive 30-foot eagle.
Like that alien in Miami.
Yeah.
Maybe it was all fabricated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some would cite the many independent sightings as evidence of the creature's existence. Skeptics, meanwhile, have attributed sightings to a host of factors, including misidentification of minute objects such as driftwood, as well as perpetration of outright hoaxes, which each camp claiming the evidence strongly supports their side. How does the independent observer decide what is fiction and what is reality? I'm just going to leave it at that. So there's some of that.
And that's a good question. I mean, with the internet, you can't really confirm or deny. So
Yeah.
don't be too gullible, but maybe some things are fun to believe. So
So. Not all.
yeah.
All right. So here's the one talking about him saying it's fake. This is in October 2013. So this is basically 10 years old. We're barely into 2024.
Yeah.
Like barely. This thing's newborn.
Yeah, like
Still in diapers.
mhm.
Yeah. You want to read a little bit of this and I'll read the other bit?
Sure.
All right, there you go.
I'll read the first paragraph.
Read like three paragraphs.
3 paragraphs?
Yeah.
All right. All right, this is when the article begins. The suitably fuzzy gray shape, a little more than a bump really, was hailed last year as among the best photographs ever taken of the Loch Ness Monster's elusive resident. But the man who provided what he claimed was documentary evidence of the monster, suitably near one of Nessie's favorite haunts, close to Urquhart Castle, has now admitted it's a fake. Under rigorous questioning of the local paper, the Inverness courier, George Edwards, who operates a cruise boat on the loch, has come clean. He says he has been telling tourists on trips around the loch about his subterfuge for about almost 2 years. The water hump, it turns out, was in fact a re-employed fake fiberglass model created for a National Geographic documentary about the beast, the truth behind the Loch Ness Monster. Not sponsored. Edwards was unrepentant about the hoax. It's keeping things going for the last... Oh, this is what he says. It's keeping things like this going for the last 80 years that has brought hundreds of thousands of people, maybe millions, up here, he told The Guardian. It's what Loch Ness is about. The monster is Loch Ness. He insisted he was a believer that something might be there, and he was acting in the best tradition of promoters of the loch, where even the official tourist body uses the slogan, seeing is believing. You can read this one.
All right. Where'd you lift off? Think about this? All right, yeah. Having fibbed last year that he had sent his evidence to the U.S. for analysis, Edwards is disdainful for so-called experts on what may be in the lake. The subject of a symposium this year, where one participant described the earliest known fake photos as looking just like a dog with a stick. Ironically, the Interventions Courier might just have started the ball rolling in 1933. What's the thing with Nessie, too? Like that crappy photo? Like, you're not able to decipher a whole lot.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're a scientist and you're turning that in, you're like, this thing is
like,
fuzzier than, like, the mold on the apple in my fridge.
Yeah, a lot of the pictures are, like, really fuzzy and just, like, blurry and not really.
They didn't use auto lock on their camera.
Yeah.
Or focus lock.
They, they shook their camera a little bit.
Yeah. They exposed their film to the light. Ironically, the Interventions course reminded started a ball rolling in 1933 by reporting how a couple saw an enormous animal in the water. In the following April, the Daily Mail sent it hurtling onwards by publishing the surgeon's photograph taken by Robert Wilson. So, yeah, Robert Wilson, that's the fake one.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's all we should do. I think we have for that, not only this podcast, but that article. So, we'll finish up our thoughts.
Yeah. I think the Loch Ness Monster is real because that'd just be a fun thing. Like, Scotland has nothing going for it.
Yeah. I mean, just a bunch of bagpipes. About sums it up, though.
Yeah, and I mean, nothing has happened in Scotland within the past 100 years. So, that's my opinions on it. You have anything else to say?
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Secondary. If you enjoy this content, then please, by all means, share it out. Subscribe to us on Spotify and all the other platforms where you listen to your podcast. Until the next episode, we'll see you then.